Ever catch yourself thinking, man, I wish I could just like soak up knowledge in quick bursts, make learning fit into my crazy schedule?
I feel that.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're looking at this idea for a podcast. It's called English in a Minute.
Catch a title.
It is, right? And the whole point is to make these bite-sized English lessons for, beginners.
I like it. Really plays into that whole micro-learning trend. People are busy, right? 1 to 2 minutes, boom, done. You can fit that in anywhere, daily, weekly, whatever works.
Totally. Like sneaking in a vocab lesson while you wait for your coffee to brew. Okay, so the source material actually breaks down like a sample episode. It's super structured, intro music, host welcomes everyone, and then boom, right into the lesson.
No
messing around.
And the cool part is how they actually teach the word. They don't just say, hey, here's the definition. They actually ask the listener a question. Like, can you guess what relax means? Makes you think, right?
Engages you right off the bat. Love that.
Exactly. Gets those brain juices flowing. And then what I thought was really smart is they give you an example sentence, but it's not some boring dictionary thing. It's like, I'm going to relax on the beach this weekend.
Oh, I can picture it now.
Right. Suddenly, the word isn't just some abstract concept. It's tied to this, like, pleasant image, sun, sand, total relaxation makes it stick.
So smart. Now, the source material also mentions that at the end of each episode, there's this call to action, the whole subscribe and follow us on social media bit. To me, that seems a little aggressive for a 1-minute podcast. What do you think?
It might seem that way, but there's actually some clever psychology behind it. Think about it. The listener just spent, 60 seconds with you? They're already a little bit invested, right? So by giving that call to action, you're tapping into this thing called the endowment effect. They're more likely to subscribe because they don't want to lose that tiny investment they've already made. Sneaky, right?
I never thought of it that way. It's like psychology meets podcasting. Pretty neat. So looking at this whole English in a Minute idea, what are the big takeaways? What's really working here?
It's all about that formula, right? You've got the super tight structure, the question that kicks off the learning, those memorable examples that hit you on an emotional level, and then that strategic call to action. You put those pieces together and boom, you got a micro-learning powerhouse.
Really makes you wonder if this in-a-minute format could work for like anything. I mean, could you explain something super complex like astrophysics in just a minute? Or maybe like ancient Roman history? Could we have science in a minute or history in a minute?
Now that is a challenge. Try explaining the theory of relativity in 60 seconds. But, I think that's what's so brilliant about this whole thing. It forces you to boil down even the most complicated stuff to its core. You have to figure out what's truly impactful and how to get that across in a super concise way. And that's a skill that's useful no matter what you're talking about. So, yeah, I think it has potential beyond just language learning. And the real question is, what knowledge nugget would you share with the world if you only had a minute?
That's something to think about.
It is.
Well, I guess that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. But hey, keep those brains buzzing.
Always. JACO.